Hi, and welcome back to Richard Readings. We are going to do a weekly collective reading for the collective for July 16th through July 22nd. I have already opened the space and I am just cleansing the space to make sure that we have access to the highest channel so that we can receive collective insight for the world on what may be happening this week in both the macro and the micro levels for our lives. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start our reading. And if you have any questions from me, please leave them in the comments below. If you would like to follow me in other places, it's Richard Readings on Instagram, and also you can follow me on my website to book a personal reading at richardreadings.com. So let's kind of go into what we have. I can feel like okay. Like I said, I can feel it opening right now. The Emperor and the Scorpio card, which is the Moon card. So the Emperor and the Moon card. So I feel like there is a lot of changes about to take place around this full moon. The Emperor oftentimes speaks about being the boss or being in control of a situation. There are unknowns, however, around perhaps emperors, father figures in your life. Perhaps there are unknowns around father figures in the collective on a macro level scale. And it also is talking about different boss figures or father figures that are rising in the collective space at this time. I don't know if you remember, but I was speaking kind of about this on last week's reading about how there was going to be some karma payouts happening to the old power structure related to the patriarchal power structure, and that new emperors were basically going to rise, and that doesn't have to be a masculine energy. That can be talking about women as well, but new people in power are going to be rising, I think, around the time of this moon, because we just made it through a Capricorn moon on the 3rd, I believe. That was the full moon, where a lot of karma has come into play. And now on the 17th, I believe, or 16th, I can't remember if it's the 16th or the 17th, the new moon in Cancer is going to begin. So that's going to probably be the activation for a lot of these new quote unquote kings. So we are in a king making type energy at this time where a lot of new is going to take place in the world. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going because I'm not hearing anything at this moment. So it seems like, the Death card, the Chariot, and the Ten of Cups. Interesting. So once again, we have Scorpio energy, Cancer energy, and then the Ten of Cups. So there is a lot of love in the collective, especially around water sign energy right now. There has been things that have been opened. Doors have been opened. Transformations have been had. And I think that moves are taking place. That is, a lot of you are actually taking moves with other people in love, and perhaps even starting new relationships or starting new endeavors with partnerships. This may be divine masculine energy that is rising in your life that you are now trying to bring in for you at this time. For many of you, you have fully moved through the doorway and are fully operational, basically, and are fully in a point where you understand the ins and outs of the world in a new way. And so the secrets are basically being revealed to you about certain things that have taken place in your life. And that is going to be something that is drawn into you to maybe even reveal more secrets to you through divine masculine energies. So this could be through new people that are coming into your life. I'm hearing that they could be from the past. So some of you may have had experiences with these people in the past, but as they show up now in the present moment, it is a completely new and evolved energy. They are at the point where they are ready to move forward, because the Cancer card also talks about the Chariot and the Driver. So I think many of these people are fully in control of their own lives at this point. And they are ready to basically step up into the highest level, the highest timeline that they're supposed to be on. Maybe in the past they struggled with these kinds of things and they were unable to step into that high level that they needed to be. But now at this time, it seems that they are choosing the highest timeline for themselves and they are moving in that accordance or in accordance with that timeline. A lot of you are going to be moving in general. Wow, okay, because there's a lot of secrets that may have taken place in the past. This is that same card that we got from last week where I said that many masculines that were basically pretending to be divine masculines are going to be falling. It looks like the secrets, the snakes, are being revealed in the collective and in your life at this time. So if you've had some masculines in your life that have been keeping secrets from you, those things are about to be revealed in a new way on a much higher degree, I'm hearing. So you may have had like little snippets of information from these people coming in over time, but at this point it is going to be full awareness, because like I said, these divine masculines are fully coming online at this point. I don't know if you remember, but last year in the 2022 transformation, it was all about the divine feminine, and the divine feminine had to go through an activation process to where they understood that they were fully activated. And then around the beginning of 2023, these feminines did come into a full activation. Now it seems like it's the divine masculine collective that has gone through that activation process, and we're finally to the point where these masculines are fully activated to their higher awareness. They understand what it is that they must do. They understand what it is that their calling is telling them to do. And these old masculines that may have been addicted to power or games is the other thing I'm hearing. Addicted to games, addicting to secrets. Really like using power to inflict pain in other people is what I'm hearing, because this is also very much an ego-driven card or a will force-driven card. So these are people that have used their power to inflict pain into the lives of other people, and it has been for personal gain. Pain to others for personal gain. And these things are what is now falling away in the macro level collective, and you will probably see this play out in your micro. So if you've been connected to masculine energies that are lying or are not being totally transparent with what their agenda is, this is going to become totally transparent. It almost seems like some of this may result in big changes as far as balancing out money. So if this was a situation where certain masculines were even stealing and lying about it, what it was that they were doing as far as their career or the way in which they made money, it is now coming to the light in a full force. So we need to be careful, especially for the feminines that are watching this. Please understand that there's a huge transition happening right now within the divine masculine collective, and that those that have partaken in deceit and disrespect towards others are now receiving karma for those actions that they have taken. And many of those forms of karma will be enacted through actual court and legal situations that these masculines now have to face and now have to undergo. There's going to be a balancing of the feminine collective within their money structure. So if these masculines have done things towards feminine energies to basically limit their money inflow, or their like, because this is talking about like, because 9 and 6 is a 15, which is a 6. So it's really about the things that you have been doing for work, especially if they have been for the higher timeline of the collective, if it has been for a greater purpose, farther than power, farther than money, and farther than anything related to personal gain. Especially like the divine feminine energy is all about that, not doing things for personal gain. This is going to be balanced out at this time. Perhaps there were masculines that actually took advantage of the abundance that is able to be created from the feminine collective, and this is going to be outed. All of this is coming out. And that's what I said about last week as well, but it seems like we're now in the place where karma from this last week is rolling over into the next week. There was just a beep over there, so I feel like that confirms that this is now rolling over into this next week from last week, and we're going to really be seeing some of these like court cases happening on a public scale. I just heard like information about the strikes in Hollywood, about the writing strikes in Hollywood, and this being a big topic of discussion that will be playing out over the next 2 weeks, because there are things that have been happening within the masculine CEO collective, within the creative spheres, that have been operating in a disrespectful and deceptive energy. And so those things are going to be targeted at this time. I'm just hearing like the angel of justice is coming in hot, basically. So I don't know what your take on is with angels and things like that, but I heard the angel of justice is coming in hot at this time. So there is going to be karma enacted at this time. Let's go to another reading. Please let me know if there's anything that you've been dealing with as far as court cases or as far as karma. See, we have disappointment and truce and strength. So specifically, there could be Leos, because strength is oftentimes about a Leo energy. Does not have to be, but this is about you being strength, like you being strength and you being bold and you being courageous, and that creating a truce. So perhaps there's a lot of disappointment that has now taken place because of this deceptive energy from the past. This could also resonate with a Leo energy, the King of Wands, because it is a fire energy. But this is talking about people that have used their willpower basically to control outcomes in their life. And this is no longer going to be acceptable. This is now going to be stopped. And there has been a lot of disappointment that has come based around these individuals. And I think that in order to kind of save their own butts is kind of what I'm getting. They're going to try and call a truce with what's going on. They're going to try and step back and be patient. And they may even be waiting to come in with an offer for you in some way. So it might be that some of these Leo individuals need to actually come forth with an offer, like a tangible offer as far as like money, a career, even like engagement for some people, that will need to be like solid in order for the Divine Feminine Collective to take this again, because the masculines have been leeching, is what I'm hearing, leeching off of this feminine energy for a long time. And now the feminine energy is aware of these processes. The feminine energy has probably been aware of these processes, but they were still in this phase of, I hate to say being too understanding, but being too understanding of what's been happening to them, because they have let themselves get taken advantage of a little bit. So if you've been put in a situation by I just heard a roommate, and then I also heard lover. So especially people around, very close to you. So I'm getting people that are very close to you that have put you in situations that are not of the highest good, that are ego driven, and that are, I'm hearing it's like the things that they wanted to put onto you have all come back to them. So many of them may have said, you were this kind of character, you were this kind of ego-driven character, you were this kind of power-hungry character, and now it's actually come out that it was in fact them. It was in fact them the whole time. So it could be some devastating news, especially to the masculine collective, if you are going through, this is an ego drop, basically. This is a wall of an ego coming down. This is an ego death, which we also have over here. And with this moon energy, with the Cancer full moon, and with the death card here, we're gonna have a lot of changes that happen pretty quickly. That's what I said about the next week, or I'm sorry, about the last week as well, that there was gonna be changing of the hands of power. So this is happening pretty quickly. So I feel like the universe basically gave these masculines time to address the problem and to come forward with the issues. And at this point, it wasn't done. And so that karma is going to come right in and balance out the structure for these divine feminines. And it is going to be something that basically puts these masculines in a place where they have to call truce with people around them, because they have nothing left to do. That's what I'm getting. They have nothing left to try. The Prince of Wands, like this is coming in hot. Like that's what I was talking to you about. there are new people, perhaps younger, like prince type energies that are rising very, very, very quickly. And these ones are going to become the next emperor energies of this world on a macro scale. So we're really in king making energy. It's true. King making energy means that people that have been going through the trials in their lives, that have been taking on the trials and passing them left and right, these are now going to be the people that are put into positions of power. These people are going to be lifted up. These people are going to be like literally scooped and put into a higher status almost overnight. And I'm getting the fact that this is really fast. Like, this is not a slow energy. This is a very fast moving energy. Dominion and valor. So it's saying, and then there's that death card and fortune. So this is basically saying that there are people that have wanted to have dominion or have wanted to open the door into your life because they wanted some of your power. So this might be for my feminines out there. If you've been involved with people that have been close to you or tried to stay close to you so that they could essentially like usurp something from you or steal something from you, especially on an energetic or money type sense, these are the people that are going to have to face the karma at this point. For people that have been stealing energy, for people that have been stealing money from others, these people are going to face karma, and it's going to happen fairly quickly. It's also saying that the transformation that's going to take place is speaking, especially death. This is Scorpio energy. So I'm feeling like a lot of Scorpios are rising in particular. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Scorpio, but the death card has come out twice, and that's Scorpio energy. And it's also speaking about, and then this one even has a Scorpio energy lobster on it. So that's come out quite a bit in this reading and talking about this being emperor type energy. So I feel like this is like a new, okay, so this is kind of deep, but you know how the Leo has typically been like the king of the zodiac wheel. It's almost like there's going to be a switch of power to where the new king of the zodiac wheel is going to actually be Scorpios or like a watery type energy, because what is happening in the macro level is going to take a higher level of emotional intuition. And this is something that is not a willpower intuition. This is something that is from a space of emotional intuition. And these people are being asked to basically speak because it is a part of the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a part of the higher destiny of the collective, but it is also a part of the micro destinies of each individual. So some of you feminines may have friends, is what I've just heard, that have needed help, but they have been sort of cast aside. So perhaps there are people that are now going to get all the blessings that were usurped from them basically come back into them full force. And so the transformation is going to be very quick within these people because they were siphoned for such a long time that now that the siphoning is complete, it is going to happen very, very quickly. Yeah, because it's saying like that the truth cannot be blocked. That's what it's saying. Like there's this one big sword with all these little swords like trying to hit it. But the truth is like this big sword. Like it cannot be blocked. The truth is energy, and energy does not lie. And so if that is spoken from a place of love and understanding, if it's the truth and it's coming from a place of love and understanding, that cannot be blocked. So perhaps there are many feminines that have been listening to friends that were not a part of this masculine collective that has been deceitful, but they were actually a part of like on the fringes of these situations. And these people have been basically speaking that truth a lot more lately than they were before. And because of that, there's a huge shift of power dynamic that's now taking place. Because like I said, these people are rising, and then there's success here on the bottom of it. So it's like the things that they have been saying are finally going to come to fruition. These things are going to come out like point blank. It's almost like people have been trying to tell some of these feminines what was going on in their lives for quite a bit of time. And now the feminines are finally seeing that it is taking place. So if you had friends or family on the outside of you that were basically saying through their own intuition or through their own emotional empathy that these people were being deceitful or were being deceptive, it is all coming out at this time, and it is going to be a disappointing outcome for these men and probably for a lot of these women as well, because they were so attached to these men. But it's going to be a better outcome than it was before, because this is really about stealing energy, stealing strength, and that can no longer continue in this energy. So this is on a micro level scale. So this is a big win, is what I'm getting. This is a big win. So if you felt that things were unfair for a very long time, this is going to be a big win. I'm going to place my bumblebee on top of the Emperor card because I'm getting like a lot of gold energy here, like gold auras, gold, even just gold jewelry and things being something kind of important. So you may want to wear more gold this week, because gold is one of the most electrically conductive metals that there is, and it's also considered to be an instrument of truth, an instrument of like royalty. So I feel like gold is going to be really important over the next week, and if you have gold anything, I would wear it more. Let's kind of go into this. I'm gonna ask a couple specific questions just because this is so like vague. So let's see like what's gonna happen within relationships this week on a micro and macro. Yeah, see, it's like saying that things are coming to the light. People are really starting to see what's been taking place. It's all coming to the light. And this is like somebody already saw it energy, and someone is getting seen. So it's a lot about being seen, of being watched, because of betrayal. Because I think people have been going through betrayals, and now it's coming to the light. Like a lot of these betrayals are coming through to the light. And it's because a lot of these have been workplace situations. So it could have even been like rings of people that have been scamming or taking money from other people, or taking energy even from other people. And this is now coming to the light. And people are now watching what these people who are basically whistleblowers are saying, because what they're saying and what they've been doing is actually very aligned with what has been happening in the world. And now I think it's time that people are actually going to see it. They're actually going to feel it. They're actually going to discover it for themselves. And this is really going to change things, not just in your relationships and in your friend groups, but also on a huge scale, on a world scale. The door is being opened into this new energy, this new wave of energy, but it is going to involve becoming more cold with these people that have lied. It is going to involve becoming more closed off to relationships or love situations that are not serving your highest, because that's actually going to give you a 9 of Cups. So this could be a little bit of a disappointing energy, or perhaps with the last week, you went through disappointment around the energy of this happening, but now it is going to result in a win, in a dream come true outcome for many people here, because the truth is going to come out, and the truth can only result in a win. Ultimately, it can only result in a win. Yes, there could be some chaotic energy that happens as these lies and deceptions break down in people's lives, but after that point, it is going to result in a win. See, it's talking about speaking the truth and speaking from the heart. Many people need to be more involved with self-love. So this is within your relationships. Like what is going to happen is you need to be more involved in self-love. You need to stand up for yourself more. You need to say what you mean and mean what you say, and be direct and know that you have boundaries, and that is okay. And when people come in and try and give you a narcissistic type energy in regards to you putting up a boundary, you just continue to take action. Continue to take action on your love. I also feel that many people are going to come in and actually take action on their love in a new way. So a lot of healing has already taken place in the divine masculine energy. Like I said, like I'm on a macro scale. So a lot of divine masculines are now coming in towards healed individuals, healed feminine individuals. And I'm getting the sense that these are people that have been speaking from their heart for years. It makes me laugh because it's almost like these people are like so tired, like these feminine energies. And again, masculine, feminine doesn't matter. It's just a gender based upon like electrical magnetic breakup in our life, and how it all goes together. So a lot of these I'm going to say women and femmes that have been speaking the truth for such a long time, have been doing it for such a long time, that they're so tired, but they just keep doing it. You know what I mean? They just keep doing it because they have an inner knowing that something like this was about to happen. And so it seems like now is the time that it's really about to happen, is when all of this is really about to come to the light, and all of this that has been hidden, all of the betrayal, all of the stealing, it's about to come to the light, if it hasn't already come to the light. Because for many of you, this is a past tower that's already fallen. So a lot of the illusions have already fallen down. And so the new truths are going to be the second wave of that tower, which is then putting in place what really is and what is not. So removing what is not and putting in place what is. And you may have to kind of reach out to people that you might have put at a distance for some time because you thought that they were trying to mislead you, when in fact the people that were closer to you in your life were the ones that were misleading you. That's pretty big. This is a huge power dynamic shift that's happening. Like, this seems to be really the shift within the paradigm structure that we're reaching in the world. I'm just gonna, because I'm getting a lot just intuitively right now, so I'm just gonna try and like bring some more in with these messages. I heard we have no time left. That's kind of an ominous thing to say. In regards to what's happening in the world, there is not time left for these old power arching structures to be there, because it is going to prevent all of the change from happening. And so it's like the pendulum is swinging back the other way. It's like it got too much for the divine masculine power hungry structure to hold on to anymore, and it's collapsing. And so that's going to swing back to the other direction, and then the divine feminine is really going to be coming into power in a new way. So like I said, new masculines rising, new emperors that are rising. Anything else that I need to receive? It just said she knew it all along, but she was scared to admit it. Dang. All right, so that's going to be for the feminines out there that have been attached to these people, these masculines that have been operating in deceit. It's like, you may have been in denial, straight up, about what was taking place in the lives around you, in your relationships, in your friend groups. You may have just straight up been in denial. People may have told you these things were real and told you that these things were happening, and you may have either judged them because these people kept getting in the way and interfering with your own intuition. Because that's the thing, is your intuition was already telling you this. So it's like, oh wow, they just said you have no one to blame but yourself. And I'm sorry, that's a harsh message, but that's what just came. Like, you don't have anyone to blame but yourself, because it seems like you were told that this was happening a lot and you didn't believe it because you preferred to listen to the one person that was actually doing the deceit. So this is your own fault. Like, and I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that, like, what are you going to do now? Are you going to be sad? Or are you going to stand up and make some changes to your life? Are you going to step into this scorpionic energy, this phoenix rising energy, and burn down the things that no longer need to exist in your life? Honk. So confirmation, that's what you really need to be doing right now. Like, I understand that we need the time to perceive the changes and feel bad about the things that have happened, but it's Not very long, because this situation seems like it has been going on for a very, very long time. So you don't need much more time to feel bad about it. At this time, you really just got to be taking action to remove these people from your life, to remove and prevent this access from coming back in to your life. That is what is most important for you at this time. There aren't enough people out there that are speaking from the heart no matter what. People have been guided by the power structure, by what they thought their friends and family would say about situations. And this again is the feminine. Like, the feminine energy needs to understand that it is the power. It has the portal. It has the ability to create life. The feminine energy is the creator. I know I'm gonna get some flack on that one because that just came right out. But the feminine energy is the portal to the world of creation. The masculine energy is the one that takes from that and directs it. It is the container of the portal. It is the container for which the feminine energy can birth new ideas and new concepts into the world. And so it is really time for the masculine energy to kind of take a step back and allow these feminine energies to create what it is that they're creating. Because these changes are very important. And there are going to be certain individuals who are probably like, not these like alpha type characters, you know what I mean? More of like these side, like kind of stepped back, more subdued people that are going to start rising into power because they have a larger understanding of emotional intuition. So that's the masculines out here that have already tapped into their intuition, that have already tapped into their empathy. These are the ones that are now going to be put into positions of power or trained into being in positions of power. Because I'm seeing that a lot of these high level positions are going to open up soon, because when these big like truth bombs come out, it's going to destroy a lot. It's going to really be Phoenix rising energy, where a lot is going to get burned down in the process of these truth bombs coming out. And then it's really about reintegrating with the people who are actually deserving of the reward, praise. And it's not even about that. It's more about, this is a natural occurrence which is about to take place in the world. It's already taken place multiple times throughout history when power shifts back and forth. And this is a natural occurrence that needs to take place. So the more that you sit in confusion and in denial about the changes that need to take place in your life, the longer you prolong and prevent them from actually happening. Let's go into some oracle. I feel like I'm screaming. That's sometimes how the messages come through. Energetic shield. Yeah, because this is about holding space, creating a shield for other people. That's why I'm like vibrating so intensely right now, is because this energy is literally expanding out of my body. And I feel like that's what's really going to be happening with the collective. It's like they need to be shielded and protected. They need the true protectors, and true protectors need to show and rise so that they can protect certain individuals here that have been presenting this energy. The visionary. Many of these feminines have visions. Many of them have gifts because their portals are activating. They're going to have a higher understanding of what's taking place in the world. They're going to receive truths through downloads. And it is no longer going to be questioned anymore, because we're moving into a time when we cannot trust the information that is being given to us through media. And so the only thing that we can do is trust our insight. And who has the insight? Who has the intuition? Typically women. Typically feminines. So it's time for the masculines to take a back seat a little bit to that intuition. That is what needs to happen at this time, and that's what is about to happen at this time. Inner vision. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, This is going to become a lot more about who has the intuitive know-how, who has the ability to train and lead people through these upcoming events with intuition, with truth, with guidance. And it is not about leading for power anymore. None of this is about power anymore. It is now about getting us all through. That's what I'm hearing. It is now about getting us all through to the other side of this situation, because this has damaged everyone. Everyone. It's not just the feminines that have been hurt by this situation. It's also these masculines, because many of them were attached to ways of belief that were placed into them at childhood. And so they didn't even know what they were doing. That doesn't make it right, but they don't have an awareness of what they were really doing, because this is all they knew. Perhaps they came from fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers that all operated in this same way. And so what were they really supposed to do? Well, some of them did step up and become these generational curse breakers. And so those are the ones that are now going to be put into power positions in the world on a higher scale. These are the ones that the feminines are now probably going to be going towards to create balance with, so that they can actually move forward and do things of their own to create more wealth and abundance in their own lives. What more do we need to say in this reading? That's a lot. It's not as intensely bad as the last one was. This is actually pretty inspirational information. Perfectionism. Yeah, it's like people have been telling these feminine energies that they can't do what they're doing because it's not perfect for way too long. And I think that because of that, these feminine energies have basically adopted a certain level of perfectionism that has prevented them from actually living out their true life's calling, their true life's purpose. And that's what's going to be targeted at this moment as we move through this next week, is we're going to be basically sussing out, who told me I couldn't do that? Who in my past told me these things that said I wasn't perfect or I made mistakes? Because everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect. And the idea of perfectionism is quite literally garbage. So it's time for these people. I'm not going to say just women, because there's a lot of people out there that have not allowed themselves to go towards what they really wanted to do, because this idea of perfectionism or I'm not good enough at it stopped them. But that's ending. Because when we find out that the masculines and the people that were telling us that you're not good enough to do that were actually being deceitful and deceptive, then that's going to change your whole belief thing. And that's going to put you into this place where you're kind of sad, but then what are you going to do about it? You're sad now. Yes, sit in the sadness, feel the sadness, but understand that's not going to change anything for you. The only thing that can change it at this point is for you to step into your power, which you know you have, which you have had the whole time. You've had visions and inner knowing about what you should do for probably your whole life. And now it's at a degree where you can't contain it anymore. So don't. Find masculines that can talk to you and understand how to contain it, that they see it and they say, I get that. Let's express it. Let's contain it. Let's create a space where it's all inviting and all encompassing, so anyone can come through and have these inner knowings and inner visions come out, so that they can express that is what needs to happen in their life, and they're not just completely shut down by people with agendas. Because that's what's been happening in a relational scale and on a worldwide scale. That's what's been happening. This is gaslighting to the nth degree. And you're smart. Yeah, good luck. You're smart. You know in your heart when you're being gaslit. You know in your heart when people are lying to you. You know in your heart when things are not enough. Or when people are trying to say that what you are deserving of, and you are deserving of, is, you're not worthy of it. That's a lie. Self-confidence. Have self-confidence. This is really, really, really the time for women to step up, make a commitment to themselves, to be honest, to speak, especially about family, protection. Like, these are all the things that I was saying before. Nature, children, because this is what needs to happen. Like, the children of the future basically need to be protected. Like, we need to kind of step into these higher levels of understanding so that we can protect these children, like, as we should naturally be doing. And that is only something that the women, that the feminines in this collective can do. So if you have been a part of situations that involved children, where the masculines were deceptive, where you were trying to hold on to the situations to protect the children, that's not protecting the children. That's putting them in a situation which is harmful to their development. I want you to really think about that. Is it better for a child to grow up in a situation where they have this kind of energy around them at all times, feeding off of them, putting this into them, and lying to them? Is that better than them having like an absent masculine, or a friend or something like that that actually gives them the space to be who they are? Which is better? I really want you to think about that. I really feel like I'm screaming at you all. But this is just how it's coming out. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before with the last cards, and I'm gonna go to my pendulum, and we're going to just pull to see what energy from this, because this is the shadow element, so I'm gonna just like get a little bit of the shadow element here. Thank you so much for this message, by the way. This has been a very potent message, and I appreciate that. It's somewhere over here, I felt it. This one? Okay, thank you. The Four of Wands, like it's all coming together. Oftentimes this can speak on twin flame activation as well. So perhaps there are people that have been activated previously in the past by their twin flame, by the twin flame collective. I don't totally subscribe to the way in which like we talk about twin flames, considering that was a new concept that basically got put into the public as of like 4 years ago. And where did that come from? Like, that's a part of the agenda. So understand that it's more so about high level counterparts. When you meet them, it's two complete people with a complete understanding of their yin yang, in peace in the middle of the storm, that have now come together with peace in the middle of the storm to create one full oneness, one full yin yang. So when you meet these people, it's crazy because it sparks spiritual evolution. So this is what needs to be understood. It's not bad to feel crazy when you are in love. Love is gravity. Love is the highest and most potent force in the universe as it is at this time. So when you meet someone that you're truly, truly in love with, this person is going to make you uncomfortable. They're going to move you out of a space of your understanding. They're going to change your way of understanding. They're going to have you start evolving and looking into new things. They're going to start researching things. They're going to start looking up things online because you don't understand it. That's what true, quote unquote, twin flame activation is. I want one more. That needs a little bit more. But it's all coming together. There may be even an event that's about to play out. This could be in around 4 days from the time of me making this reading. So this is on the 16th that I'm doing this. Oh, this one? Oh, the one under it. Okay. The Three of Cups. So see, this is about the strength of women coming together, being the thing that changes things. The collective of feminine power rising. And the Three of Cups, coming together in circles, coming together in groups so that you can build a stronger and more potent life, but not being manipulated and controlled by masculines telling you what's what. Start trusting yourself. Start trusting your inner knowing. That's how this is going to really come together. That's how this is really going to play out in a higher way. All right, and then I'm gonna just draw from my bowl as well. Yeah, I knew it was gonna do this one. I knew this was gonna be the one it was gonna do. So this is about like, this is one of those, well, the message I'm getting is that this is about sacred seeds, planting the sacred seeds that will grow and develop into something bigger and better over the course of time, over the course of history. The seed, if it grows in an environment that is not conducive to it, it will not grow and flourish and bloom in its best way. But it's not the seed's fault. Every seed is sacred. It's the environment. So if you're going through a separation at this time, I want you to really think about that. Are your ideas gonna grow the best in that old environment with this energy? Or is that something that, like, you know, your kids, your dreams, your jobs, they could all do better with a different environment? And I think with that, I'm gonna leave you guys all. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful week.